1 p.m. It is 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines we have the visit by the president of the Djibouti Olympic Committee and IOC members Aisha Garat to the Saint-Denis Olympic Village. At least 9 Palestinians killed and several others injured in Gaza. Welcome to our newsroom. This morning, the Director General of the Djibouti Road Agency, Mr. Subhane Said Ismail, accompanied by a Japanese delegation led by the Joka representative, Ms. Araki Yasumishi, Deputy Director General of the Financial Corporation, visited the site of the future Palmyra Bridge work to prepare the site for installations, and the construction of the bypass is progressing apace. This nationwide project has a social and economic dimension. It is one of the government's priority. In the long term, this crucial infrastructure will make it possible to absorb a large volume of vehicles while enhancing the safety of goods and people. Also present during the visit were Ms. Komatsu Masumi, head of the Palmyra Bridge project, and Mr. Kohei Honda and Mr. Wasama Daher, project managers at the Joka Djibouti offices. For his part, the General Director of the ADR, Mr. Subhane Said, said that the work to prepare the site for installations and the constructions of the bypass is progressing apace, and this nationwide project has a social and economic dimensions and is one of the government's priorities. In the long term, this crucial infrastructure will make it possible to absorb a large volume of vehicles while enhancing the safety of goods and people. This morning, under a rainy sky, Ms. Aisha Garad Ali, member of the International Olympic Committee, entered the Olympic Village in Saint-Denis, accompanied by her team. Her enthusiasm was palpable as she made her way through the Aisles line with multicolored flags, where the languages and laughter of athletes from all over the world echoed. Ms. Aisha Garad Ali stopped in front of each pavilion, exchanging warm handshakes with the athletes and members of the delegation. She took the time to listen to their stories, their dreams, and their preparations for the upcoming competitions. In the course of a conversation, Ms. Aisha Garad Ali shared a few words of encouragement and wisdom. She reminded us of the importance of Olympic spirit, of the camaraderie between nations, and surpassing oneself. And each event is an opportunity to showcase your talent, but also your play, said Ms. Aisha Garad Ali. May these Olympic Games be the scene of exceptional performance, but also she declared that at your head, as the president left the villages, she was greeted by applause and grateful smiles. The athletes gathered for a group photo, proudly displaying the colors of their countries. Ms. Aisha Garad Ali raised her arms in encouragement, symbolizing the unity and patience that drives these Olympic Games. The Djiboutian Judo at the Paris Olympic Games 2024 broadcast on 28 July 2024. Dear viewer, good morning. We are on the eve of the judo competitions for the Paris 2024 Olympics. We are very proud to bring you a glimpse into the intense training of our Djiboutian judoka. Behind the scenes at the dojo, the tatami is their scary ground. The judoka dressed in is immaculate. Judoki prepares with unshakable determination. His steps are discreet, but his movement is powerful. He repeats the approaches, the throw, and escapes. Every fall is a learning process. Every seizure is evaluated. He is ready to face the best judoka in the world. The patience that drives him. For this athlete, judo is much more than a sport. It is a philosophy, and art brings hopes of an entire country. For this for his shoulders. Tomorrow morning, when the gang sounds on the Champ de Mars, he will take the stage with the courage and determination. His family, his friends, the whole of Djibouti will be behind him. The Olympic Pride, the president of the National Olympics and Sport Committee of Djibouti, Mr. Aisha Garad Ali herself is a member of the International Olympic Committee, visited the judoka at the Olympic Village in Saint-Denis. She supported them, reminded them that every failure is a signature, every victory is a source of national pride. Exclusive images, we show you training sequences. As you have just discovered, the national hero, Olympic athlete Adan Alexander Hussein is training hard to fly the country's flag in his first Olympic judo match tomorrow. We spoke to him this morning in Paris. Concentrated glances, handshakes between opponents. Djibouti's judoka are ready to shine the gold medals tomorrow when the sun rises over Paris. Our judoka will enter the Champ de Mars arena. He will be the fighting for Djibouti in the qualifying rounds. His name may well go down in the Olympic history. We will be tomorrow to support them to every move and every victory. Stay tuned to our channels to follow the exploit of our Djiboutian judoka. Adan Alexander Hussein, an exceptional judoka, has won numerous prestigious medals, including 2 silver medals at the African Championship and 2 bronze medals at the All African Games. His success also extended to the continental stage with 7 medals at the Continental Open, including 2 golds and 2 silvers at the Arab Championship. His participation in the Tokyo Olympic Games is testament to his commitment to his sport and his determination to compete with the best judokas in the world. In addition to his sporting achievement, Adan Alexander Hussein spends part of his holidays giving lessons to the country's emerging young talent. They'll be helping to train the new sporting elite. This commendable initiative is in line with the enlightening policy of the Head of State Ismail Omar Guelleh, who grants subsidies to the country's top sportsmen and women. This approach supports and encourages the development of sport and enables young talent like Adan Alexander Hussein to flourish and shine on the international stage. The young Adan Alexander Hussein thanked President Ismail Omar Guelleh and the Secretary of State for Sports Hassan Mohammed Kamil for their constant support, as well as the CAC Bank, his official sponsor. Adan Alexander Hussein, an exceptional judoka, has won a number of prestigious medals, including 2 silver medals at the African Championship and 2 bronze medals at the Ali Africa Games in Rabat and Accra. His success also extends to the continental stage with 7 medals at the Continental Open, including 2 golds and 2 silvers at the Arab Championship. His participation in the Tokyo Olympic Games is a testimony to his commitment to his sport and his determination. Is the young Adan Alexander Hussein. Hope we'll start the competition from the history. Africa Station, a fan zone dedicated to Africa. A few steps for the Stade de France in Paris. A fan zone dedicated to Africa has been set up as part of the 2024 Olympic Games called Africa Station. The project was initiated by the city of Ile Saint-Denis and the associations of National Olympic Committee of Africa, ANOCA, in partnership with the Maison de l'Afrique. Olympic sporting event will be broadcast there. An African cultural event in the color of the continent's countries will be presented to entertain visitors and residents alike, says the same sources. Winning African athletes will come to Station Africa to present their medals and meet their fans. Admission to the site will be free except for concert. On the final legs of his regional tower, the president of the Djiboutian Federation of Swimming and his colleagues held information and consultation meeting with the various authorities in Obok on Thursday. Deputy Prefect Mohammed Awad received the delegation in his office in the presence of representatives of the regional league. A number of issues were discussed, including the various development projects that the Federation aims to carry out in Obok during its new term in office, informing and raising awareness of the need to increase the number of the clubs by reaching out to the various civilians and military entities. The prefect promised to use all his authority to support the Egyptian Federation of Swimming and its ambitions. There was also discussions of the Egyptian Federation previous request for a plot of land with a view to creating a swimming pool in Obok. The prefect's main concern was discipline within the club's respect for establishing rules and imperative needs for athletes to reconcile with their studies. Abdullah renewed his thanks to the president of the Obok Regional Council, Mr. Mohammed Ismail, for his support and constant benevolence towards his federation. Welcome him, he said from the outset. He promised to support the Egyptian Federation of Swimming, whose good faith he is convinced of having witnessed tangible results on the grounds of over 20 years. For the international scene in Gaza, at least 9 Palestinians killed and several others injured. At least 9 Palestinians were killed and several others injured on Saturday in an Israeli attack on the south of the Gaza Strip. Medical sources at Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis said that the Israeli army shelled 2 houses, one of the Musabba area north of Rafah and the other in the Khan Yunis, claiming to have admitted 9 martyrs and several wounded following the Israeli shelling of 2 houses, one of them in Rafah and the second in Khan Yunis. Eyewitnesses reported that civil defense teams were still searching for victims of the Israeli attacks among the rubble of the 2 houses. Britain drops Israel. Israel is losing Britain's support. Prime Minister Keir Starmer announced on Friday that he was lifting his country's objections to a potential arrest warrant for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. His predecessor Rishi Sunak had expressed reservations without submitting them to the court. Last May, the prosecutor of the International Criminal Court, Karim Khan, filed applications to arrest warrants against the Israeli Prime Minister and his Defense Minister Yoav Gallant for crime against humanity in the context of the war against Hamas in Gaza. It is up to the court to decide, said Keir Starmer, stressing the importance of separating powers and respect to the rule of law. The Israeli response was swift. Tel Aviv criticized the decision as a fundamental contrary to justice and the law and violating the right of all democracies to fight terrorism. And this is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.